Hello, thanks for having me. My name is Mark Marino. I teach at the University of Southern California, where I run the Humanities and Critical Code Studies Lab, the HACS Lab, which does humanity-style interpretations of computer source code. We published a book that I co-wrote called Tenprint, where we looked at one line of code. I also use those practices when collaborating with my two co-authors, Jeremy Douglas and Jessica Pressman, on Reading Project, where we looked at one work of electronic literature by William Poundstone called Project for Tachistoscope, Bottomless Pit. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. I'm the Director of Communications for the Electronic Literature Organization. If you haven't heard of us, then that's my fault. We are an international organization that represents artists working in emerging forms and scholars as well. So far, in addition to hosting an annual conference that goes back and forth between the United States and somewhere else, our upcoming one is in Victoria, Canada. We also have published 3 collections of electronic literature, the Volume 1, you can see here, Volume 2, and aptly, Volume 3, which actually will be released in a few weeks. We're also currently accepting submissions for our electronic literature prizes. The submissions are open for all of February, and there's a $1,000 prize attached to that annual prize. A lot of my writing work has been in a form that my writing partner and I called Netprov, which is online improvised narrative, usually in a collaborative form. Some examples of these were a week-long project called 1 Week No Tech, where we challenge people to give up technology, or at least imagine giving up technology for a week, and then to tweet about every single moment of that. We also did another recent Netprov called I Work for the Web, where a multinational conglomerate that runs the web decided to run an ad campaign that encouraged people to imagine what it would be like if all of their liking and favoriting, all of their posting and sharing were their actual job. Well, the people get a little disgruntled and later form a labor union called the International Face Twit and Web Workers. And, a skirmish unfolds. Another project that comes out of the Netprov area involves a reality TV star and his wife, Spencer Pratt, and his wife, Heidi Montag, who are on an American show called The Hills. I believe they were also recently on Celebrity Big Brother UK and a few others. Well, while Spencer was recording that show, Celebrity Big Brother, I ran his Twitter account with Rob Wittig, pretending to be an obscure British poet who had found his phone and was now tweeting from his account. Although, while happy about the 1 million followers, he was disappointed that he couldn't actually mention his name without getting arrested or into some sort of Twitter trouble. That was followed up a little bit later by a project that we did called Speidishow, in which we imagined that Spencer and Heidi had their own new reality TV show that changed formats every week. And it was aired on Thursdays at 8 p.m. And it already had its set of super fans and its whole production crew of the producer, the production assistants, and things like that. So there would be a week-long set of adventures that would be punctuated by these weekly episodes that people would imagine watching. So they were live tweeting a broadcast of a show that did not exist. That was inspired by one of Rob's wonderful ideas. Recently, I came across the app game Lifeline. I don't know if you've played this game where you help someone who is stranded in space and they're sending you messages and you're helping them make choices, helping them survive. It's a kind of a choose your own adventure interactive fiction, a very simple interface. Well, Rob and I have recently been working on another project with Spencer and Heidi in which they get embroiled in a new reality TV show where they get to be special ops agents, similar to America's Navy SEALs, although they're junior ones and they're called baby seals. And that'll be launched on a new platform that's coming out soon called Sequel. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And another project that I've been working on with my children, I've been collaborating on some interactive children's stories under the heading Mrs. Wobbles in the Tangerine House, about a magical foster care home and the very loving woman who runs it, who may or may not be a witch. The first episode is called The Mysterious Floor, about a floor that, well, I don't want to be a spoiler. The second one is called Parrot the Pirate. It's a pirate adventure, obviously. And the third one involves a boy who cannot walk, who wakes up as a girl who can. And that story is called Switcheroo. I wanted to share with you some of my favorite things to read these days. One of them you should not miss, by Samantha Gorman and Danny Cannizzaro, that won the ELO Prize last year, is called Pry. It's about a trio who are off in the Persian Gulf War, the first Gulf War as we refer to it sometimes, and are involved in a bit of a love triangle. But what's more interesting about this piece is that it uses many different aspects of the iPad, including a stretch feature in which you stretch out the text to display more, and you can also, well, you're prying through this person's memories. You can pry open the text and also see sort of video portraits of the main character's memories. Again, some of them are very surreal. Some of them seem more realistic, like flashbacks. And so it's a piece that reflects on trauma and in many ways draws the reader into exploring that trauma in a way that sometimes is, again, feels like you're prying a bit perhaps as well, but certainly gets you inside the mind of the main character. Another project that I'm so happy about seeing come into fruition called Icebound, the Icebound Compendium. You can see my copy of it right here. It also has an app. And the way this project works is there is a famous author who has disappeared, but or died rather, and his daughter has taken his memories and sort of uploaded them into a computer to create an artificial version of this author. And I know many artificial authors now that I think about it. But in any case, then you take this compendium and you show it to a computer, a webcam, and let it scan the pages. And then depending on which pages you scan in, it creates a different version of this AI. Anyway, it's a wonderful project. The app is now out, and as you can see, I've got the hard copy by Aaron Reed and Jacob Garby. That idea of augmenting pages was also played out in an earlier work that I highly recommend to you, called Page to Screen by Amaranth Borsuk and Brad Baus. And it's just a beautiful piece. You can see how it works. Amaranth has written these gorgeous poems that when you hold up to a webcam on the screen, you can see augmented by these flash-style animations. And it's a book that pops off its pages, I guess you'd say. Last but not least, I'm involved in a project that sounds like a joke, but I'm pretty sure it's not. It is called Buzzademia, and our subtitle is Scholarship in the Internet Vernacular, and we currently have a call out for anyone who would like to submit memes or Twitter posts or casual games, and anything that the kids are communicating, animated GIFs, whatever the kids are using to communicate these ways. And the challenge to this anthology is it's people explaining scholarly ideas or exploring scholarly ideas in these popular forms. Okay, well, that's my reading list for today. Some recommendations and self-promotion as far as I could tell. I may be also joining you via Skype now, and if I'm not, then goodbye. And if I am, then let's keep talking. Anyway, nice to see you.